Hi guys, it's Suzanne HB, Crazy Just Might Work on Instagram, and today's tutorial is on a pretty simple design. It's called Artfully Staged because of the slight raise in the middle section. It's a chain-based hook-only design, and it's just a pile of leaf stitches put a particular way. So I'm assuming for the purposes of this that you do know how to do a single chain like so. And that you will, before you start this, you might want to pause and make a chain the colour that you'd like to use for the central chain. That central chain in this one is my navy blue. So the central chain will end up being bordering the sort of raised section through the middle. You can do this in opaques. It comes out beautifully in opaques. It's my very, very favourite. And you can, I've alternated colours here, but you can do it just in 3 colours if you like, or you could do it in 2 colours, it doesn't matter. But this one I'm going to do to demonstrate. This will be my central colour, my centre band chain, and I'm going to use the grey opaque to be the middle section, and I'm going to use white opaques where the red and orange ones are in this one. Okay, so you need a chain probably only slightly longer than your wrist length, and we're going to start it with the cap band facing up like that in a circle. We're going to work down this side, and then we're going to come and work down the other side, just like most of my border designs. Less like a border and more like working into it, into the chain on this one. Okay, so we start by popping our hook up through here and making a leaf stitch. So you put the colour that you're going to have going on the outside, in this case the red and orange, as the first band for the leaf stitch. Then you put the band that you're going to have as a centre band over the top. You go over that one, under that one, and pick it up, and that's a leaf stitch. Looks like a leaf and a stem. Another way you could do that is you can actually put the one that's going to be the stem part onto the hook, and you can hook a band through it. You'll get the same effect, but if you do it the way that I do it, it is easier when you're juggling another band as well, another chain of bands. Alright, so we're going to pull that through and not reattach. Another thing we need to do is examine which way this is facing. I don't know if you've ever examined a single chain very closely before, but when you make the single chain, you'll notice that one way that it faces, it makes like a horseshoe around and over, or maybe like a rainbow, you know, rainbow, loom, rainbow. So it's kind of got that rainbow shape. And that's the way that the chains look when you've got the cap band facing up. If you turn it to the side, you'll notice, so if you have the cap band facing to the side, you'll notice that the separation is at the top where the bands come together. So you've got this teardrop shape with the bands being separated at the top. So what we need to do is remember that the way we want it facing is the rainbow way up with the opening at the bottom. So you need to look for this band going completely through the centre at the top. And the reason that's important is that we are only going to grab this front right loop in this design, and you don't want to let it get twisted and be grabbing a side loop. And you can see when I grab the side loop, it's separated at the top there. When I grab the front loop, that loop goes all the way through to the other side. Alright, so I hope that's clear as, clear as mud. I hope it's clearer than it appears to me anyway. So we've got one leaf stitch pulled through, and we're going to go into that front right one there. Another way you could look at it is, if you want to look at it this way, you can go down all of the left-hand side loops, like that. But whichever way you're looking at it, you want to make sure that you're picking up the same, I call them kind of the corners or the edges, that same loop all the way through, whether you're looking at as the front right loop or that side left loop. But when you turn it around this way, it should be the one that's on this side. Okay, so I do it as the front right loop. You can make your choice. So you pick up that front right loop and then you hook on the stem part of the leaf stitch from the previous one. Then you make another leaf stitch. You're going to make leaf stitch after leaf stitch after leaf stitch, so you have plenty of time to practice. So you put it on, the second one over the top, over that one, under that one. Try not to get this one in the way, like so. Pull it through everything on the hook. Don't reattach it yet because you're going to pick up, and this is the one you've already picked up, you can see because it's got stretched out. You want it to be facing so that you can see you're picking up the same loop on the same line, and hook that over, like so. Complicated, isn't it? Not. This is the whole sequence, all the way up. So you will be repeating this over and over and over, and that's the entire stitch. So you get the border colour, put a colour from the centre on top, over that, under that, leaf stitch, pull through everything on there before you reattach. See, it's be very easy to grab the wrong loop. Before you reattach, check that you've got it facing whichever way you've chosen, and you're picking up the band that's along the same line as the rest of them you've picked up, like so. So again, leaf stitch, just do it from a different angle, picking up, pull it through, don't attach, pick this up, grab that, reattach, and you just keep going. So leaf stitch, pull through, pick up, reattach, and you do that the entire length of your bracelet. And when you get to the top, you can just pull through one of those colours, say a white or the grey, doesn't really matter. Just pull through one of those colours at the top, and that will join in with the chain when we attach it to the top. So I'll finish this side and I'll come back. Okay, so I'm at the top now of my section that I'm doing. Obviously I'm not doing a full bracelet length, but I'm at the top section, and what I'm going to do now is just pull through a grey band through the lot, and then I'm going to undo this band here and just hook that on and pop another grey band through to hold it, like so. So we'll attach the other side as well when we get to the top part. Alright, so we can come back down and we're going to be working into the opposite front loop than when we were working down the other side. So it's these loops here. You may want to just pull them out slightly if they're looking like they're getting tucked in. If you've used contrasting colours, it should still be pretty obvious. And in fact, it should be more obvious than going up the other side, because it'll be the one that's right next to this chain you've just put through. So again, it doesn't really matter which way you do it, so long as you're going in from the back side to the front. So you're picking that loop up. You can't go in and pick the loop up from the front side. It won't work. It will not look the same as the one you've already done. So we want to go in from this side to pick up that loop when there's a pickup. Okay, so we'll start with another leaf stitch again. So the actual sequence is identical. So don't attach. Now the only other thing is if you're working backwards, you need to realise that you're going to have to, you don't want this middle band to get twisted, so you're going to have to kind of work out when you attach it that you have to flip it back this way rather than pulling it through and then attaching it like that with a twist in it. See how that's actually twisted? So I'll show you what I mean. So we go in, pick up, and then just work out I need to go through that so it's not twisted, like so, and then grab another leaf stitch, create another leaf stitch, pull it through. We're going to pick up the next one. You can see we've already picked up that one. We're going to pick up the next one. This is where you've got to realise, okay, which way is my band got to be facing? I've got to go through that side so that it's straight, like so. Make another leaf stitch, pull it through, and so on. If you were going to work it from this side, you would have to make sure you were picking up like this band and making sure it wasn't twisted. So I don't think there's any advantage to doing that. So I prefer to work so that I'm doing basically the same stitch and then flipping it over to get up to the next one. Alright, so you can see our loop there. That band is straight. I'm going to pick up the next one. And which way do I have to go through to keep it straight? I have to flip that over a little bit, like that. Make another leaf stitch, pull it through everything. It's kind of, you have to keep turning your hand this way to go through that loop. So the hook comes down this way, picks up, sorry about the shine on the hook there, and you attach that like so, so that it's not twisted. So if you keep an eye on whether it's twisting or not, you should be fine. It'll become obvious as you go through that you don't want to pick it up like that, because you can even see from that that it's twisted. You want to pick it up so there's an open loop, like so. And you can start to see how that shape is forming. You've got your little staging platform in the centre there, and you've got your chain around the outside, and that lovely, it's both frilly and solid, so it's a very stable design. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off and show you how to close off. Okay, so there's my finished piece. Got it to the top, and all I've done is I've released the grey band that I had through these four bands here, and then I've slipped those four bands onto the hook, and then I'm going to finish off just by slipping one or two, depending on your security when you're using opaques, bands through all of those, and that's what I'll secure to the cap band down here. This is actually the back, which is super pretty as well, and it does sit nicely, but it sits frillier. And then this is the front, which sits, it's got that kind of heightened 3D effect through the middle, which is where it gets its name. Alrighty, I hope this has been helpful, and if it has, please give me a like, a thumbs up. Check me out on Instagram on Crazy Just Might Work, and I'd love to see your renditions, so if you can tag me in your comments and also on your photos, and hashtag to Crazy Just Might Work and this one, Artfully Staged bracelet. That'd be great. Thanks guys, bye.